I don't know if y'all know what's going down in Oklahoma City right now, but the boys for the Thunder are hooping right now. And I'm talking about Shea, I'm talking about Jalen Williams, and I'm talking about Chet Holmgren. They have a bright future, and honestly, this is the brightest future they've had since the Durant, Westbrook, and Harden era. And I just want to take some time to talk about the Thunder and their thundering expectations that they have for their rising franchise right now. Because I feel like they have a bunch of expectations and they're gonna conquer every single one of them. Don't be shocked if we're hearing the Oklahoma City Thunder are NBA champs pretty soon, because they're definitely title contenders this year. I'm gonna go into why and what making them title contenders right now. But before I do that, I'd just like to say, hey, thank you for watching this episode of the Fast Break Mill podcast. I'm your host, Mill, and this is episode 6 of the podcast. Again, I just like to say thank you for taking the time to hear what I have to say. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And also, go follow the TikTok page. I make other small NBA contact videos. So, yeah, without further ado, thank you again for watching the video. I feel like the first pillar to the OKC Thunder success has to be their wizard of a GM, Sam Presti. Sam Presti, when times were looking bleak and people were giving up on him, he still was able to show that he was him. Able to get 17 first-round draft picks from 2024 all the way to 2029 while still having a super young competitive roster is amazing. And I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for what he's done for this Oklahoma City Thunder's franchise, for his contributions during the Westbrook, Durant, and Harden era to now what he's doing in this new Shea, Chet, and Jalen era. It's truly amazing, and I don't think he's a stopping there. Like, the fact that you don't realize he has 17 first-round draft picks. If he really wanted to, I feel like he could go out there and get somebody like Larry Markkinen, who the Jazz are currently shipping right now, and really turn this into like a super championship roster. But I don't even think they have to do that now, because the way he's built this roster is set to compete now. And they still have all these assets to continue to build. Sam Presti's a wizard, and honestly, I wish my favorite team had him at there. I feel like a really big reason why the Thunder are 23-10 right now all falls down to their star player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a guard from Kentucky. If you know, you know he's different. That's for the Plenty Chat group chat, if you know, you know. But, Shai is different. And that's clearly shown on just watching him play. Man's averaging 31 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals on 55% shooting from the field. Like, he's a do-it-all type of guy. He's gonna get his own shot on the floor, anywhere from the floor. He's gonna look to get his teammates involved, and he's gonna lock up your best defender anywhere on the floor. Shai is the type of person you want on your team. Shai is the type of guy you want as a leader on your team. Shai is the type of guy you want as your number one option on any team. And I'm pretty sure any team in the league would love to have a number one guy like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Also, this has nothing to do with the team success, but Shai just got swag. He's one of the drippiest guys in the league, and I don't think that has anything to do with his team success, but just thought I'd need to add it to the video but I do want to talk about the second part of Oklahoma City's big three in Chet Holmgren, the alien from Gonzaga. And yeah, you heard me right. He's an alien just like Victor. I feel like everything you've seen and heard me talk about Victor in my previous videos, you can say the same thing about Chet. Other than that, Chet's like a year older. Other than that, I feel like they're basically the same players, same prototype, same build. Both can get you buckets about all 3 levels on the floor, while also being the defensive anchor for their team. Chet averaging 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks on 54% field goal shooting is amazing. And I think he's a great number 2 and a great Robin to Shea's number 1 Batman option, but it's crazy because he's already shown that just in his rookie season, he's already has a great grasp for the game, that he's already on an elite level. I feel like he could eventually be the Batman to Shea's Batman and be an MVP candidate right alongside with him. I mean, what's to stop him? He's already won 2 NBA Rookie of the Month. And honestly, if things keep on going like how they're going, he will probably be this year's NBA Rookie of the Year. Even though I regret saying that because I definitely have Victor ahead of him. But I digress. Chet is an important piece to this Oklahoma City Thunder franchise. So I just want to talk about the third part of the big 3 from the Oklahoma City Thunder roster, and that's Jalen Williams from Santa Clara. Jalen really came onto the scene his rookie season, really proven that he could have honestly won Rookie of the Year with a late push towards it. Not quite getting it, but having that late push really put everybody on to Jalen Williams. And this season has shown that he's gonna just continue to prove. He's averaging 18 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists on 53% shooting. And also his 3-point percent shooting has gone up tremendously from 35% to 43% in just a season is insane. Like I said, I feel like Oklahoma City has an amazing scouting department, and they know which players to target that are going to eventually become stars, because I think any one of these 3 from the big 3, heck, I feel like every one of the big 3 from the big 3 is going to be a star. And OKC is very much lucky to have each one of them on their roster, because I think this is, again, their new era of basketball, and it's what's going to push them to eventually becoming champions. I feel like another big topic of discussion regarding the Oklahoma City Thunder with regards to their expectations of winning a championship and being a championship contending team now is, what do they do with their 17 draft picks or some of their younger talent? What do they do? Do they look to just ride it out and continue to live in the now with the success and see where it leads them? Or do they flip some of these young assets / future draft picks and look to power up their potential win now roster? Some instances and ideas about this came about when the Jazz made Lauri Markkanen available for trade. People were wondering if Oklahoma City should be aggressive in that move to try and get Lauri on the team with Shea, with Jalen, with Chet. And honestly, from my personal opinion, I feel like the fact that they're 23-10 right now and they're second in the West with the youngest roster in the league, I think they just ride it out. Even if they don't have playoff success this year, I feel like you just ride this out and let your players grow and learn from any mistakes that might come upon this season. I feel like you do make little trades to make the team around that big 3 better, but I don't think you make any drastic changes to try and win a title now. I feel like you ride it out with this group, this very young, talented group, and see where it leads you, because if it's not broke, don't fix it. Lastly, because of the Thunder's recent success, I feel like fans can't help but think of the past dynasty and how that dynasty failed because of the mistakes made by the team, and they feel as if the same mistakes could be made for this dynasty. I feel like that's the opposite though. I feel like because of the mistakes that had happened in the previous Big 3 era, they're not going to do those same things to ruin their chances with this Big 3 era. I feel like because of what they've done in the past, it's literally setting them up for the future. They've gone through this blueprint before, and they know what they need to do to capitalize on it now, rather than let it flee like how they did back in that Big Three era, Durant, Harden, and Westbrook. But other than that, that's all I had for the episode. I'd like to say thank you for tuning in and listening to what I have to say on the Thunder and their thundering expectations for a franchise on the rise. It truly means a lot to me that y'all take the time out your day to hear what I have to say about NBA. I know I can blabble on sometimes, but it truly means a lot to me that y'all think I'm insightful and you like to actually hear what I have to say. So yeah, I truly appreciate it. Again, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go follow the TikTok channel for little short basketball content. And yeah, I appreciate y'all, and I'll catch y'all next episode.